Hi, welcome to my channel of the very best. Wait, hold on. I need to take a sip of water before I use it. Because, okay. Welcome to my channel of the very best. My name is Yana, and today I'm going to be talking about what is femininity and what is it. And I do have some notes because I'm still new at this and I lose track of thought sometimes. So, yeah, train of thought. But yes, so I'm going to be talking about what femininity is and what it looks like and just all things femininity. And I'll first start off by saying the actual definition of it, and it is a social construct. So that's all femininity is, like, at the base. It's not really based on facts. It's just a social construct and what the average person perceives. And it's a set of characteristics associated with women and girls, which means to me that it looks different for everyone. And a better question to ask yourself is, what does femininity look like to you? And what does it look like for you? And in spirituality, femininity is more so about being, and then the masculinity is about doing. I believe that both femininity and masculinity have nurturing traits, and some would say that the masculine is not a nurturer, but I don't believe that. I think that both are nurturing. It's just the masculine tends to be more of an indirect nurturer. For example, if there's a guy and he has his own family, he goes to work and he may get money and bring it back to his family. That is still nurturing. It's just a little bit more indirect. But who do you think, like, for an example, is buying the groceries in order for the woman to directly nurture her family by cooking the groceries and feeding them? Like, I believe that both are nurturing inherently. So yeah. And how to get clear on what femininity looks like for you. So I made a little exercise and I did it myself. And it's basically to write down 3 to 10 like role models that you perceive as feminine. And then you would write down what about them makes you admire them and perceive them as dominantly feminine, of course, because we all have both masculine and femininity. So, yeah, you would basically write down what characteristics and traits make them like your role model. It can be people like celebrities, or it can be people that you know personally. And I put like a couple of celebrities and people that I know personally, and the traits that I find that are similar in all of these women and some men who identify as gay is that they are very powerful and very influential. And a lot of people do associate power with masculinity and, like, oh, this is a man's world and men run things and things like that. But I believe that women have so much power, and our power a lot of the times is silent. And it's not that that means that we are quiet or we have to be quiet in order to be feminine. No, it's just we do not try to overly exert our power. We just are it, and we have the ability to plant seeds in people's mind and make them believe that is their idea. And that sounds pretty powerful to me. So yeah, they're very influential, they're extremely creative, and they're extremely wealthy. And they're outspoken in a way where they advocate for themselves, they set boundaries, they know how to say no. They don't have an issue with saying no. They're not afraid to make people uncomfortable by speaking up for themselves and saying no. Um, they're extremely intelligent. And one of my favorite ones, like especially, this is especially true for my mother and for one of my friends, they have so much conviction in what they believe, in their values, and in their words. And I think that goes hand in hand with being powerful, because they just believe in their power. They believe in their words. They believe in themselves. And a woman like that, or if a dominantly feminine person like that, in my eyes, is untouchable. And me personally, I've witnessed my own femininity in like the craziest ways, where like we don't have to directly try to do things, like, or say someone does you wrong or someone hurts your feelings. I've seen this, and I don't know if anybody else can relate, but like I've literally experienced times where just me crying or being hurt by somebody, it almost felt like that was enough for karma or whatever to happen for them. So that is exactly why I just, I decided to make this video in the first place. But yes, that's an exercise that you can do if you want to get more clear on what femininity looks like for you. And it doesn't really have so much to do with wearing certain clothes and shoes, and this is getting into like the misconceptions about femininity, because it really doesn't have much to do with wearing dresses and wearing heels and crossing your legs and speaking in a soft voice. Like, no, that is a huge misconception. And the clothes that you wear is just an expression of your femininity. Like, even Billie Eilish, when she would tend to wear really huge clothes, she still exuded femininity and beauty. So it's less about your clothes and more about what you're exuding, right? And another very big misconception about what femininity is and what femininity looks like is when talking in like a high-pitched voice, or trying to sound like a baby, or being naive. A lot of those traits are associated with being feminine, speaking very softly, being like very innocent. Those traits are actually fit for children. So I feel like that's a big red flag in society sometimes, is they confuse childlike behavior with femininity. Even being bubbly and goofy, they associate that with being feminine. It's a trait. It's a valid trait that adults have. I know I'm like that sometimes, but that's that's very childlike in a way as well. So I think society sometimes can be a little bit perverted and stuff like that, and try to make it seem like that's what being feminine is. Like, you don't curse, you have to be like, seem so innocent and naive, and no, that's children. That's little boys and little girls. That's how little boys and little girls act. They're naive. They usually have softer voices. They usually carry themselves in that way. They can be extremely naive. They can be extremely goofy and innocent. That is childlike behavior. That is not what defines femininity. Especially like if you're a grown woman, like, come on. That's silly. So yes, this video is gonna be like a little short, of course, but I just wanted to talk about, what femininity is and how you can see what it looks like for you. A quick little exercise that you can do. You can script it really quickly. Again, like, all you gotta do is write down 3 to 10 women that you admire that you perceive as feminine. Write down your reasons as to why you perceive them as feminine and why you admire them. And 9 times out of 10, the fact that you admire it means that those characteristics and those traits that you admire in other women are actually inherently a part of who you are, even if you haven't been existing in that space. That's okay. So thank you for watching this video. Bye.